Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is a bit unusual. We're grabbing this object, something so common you probably didn't even think about it. Maybe it's lost behind your dryer right now.
Yeah. The lone sock.
Exactly. And we're going to show you how this simple piece of clothing actually caused massive shifts. We're talking global health, military strategy, social class, all changed by the sock.
It really is the perfect counterintuitive history lesson. You know, when you think about things that change civilization, it's always fire, the wheel.
Right, the big stuff.
Yeah, the big stuff, not something you just tuck into your shoe. But our sources, they really dig deep, showing the sock's journey is, well, it's a direct line to understanding how humans moved, stayed healthy.
I got to say, I was skeptical. Socks. Real.
Most people are.
But the more you look, the more you think, maybe the really impactful things are the ones we just stop noticing.
Precisely. They become invisible. Infrastructure. They just enable everything else.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack this then. So before we get into like the social impact and all that, where do we even start, timeline-wise?
Good question.
How far back do we need to go for the first real sock? Because honestly, I kind of pictured, I don't know, basic wool hose maybe in the Renaissance? Or later?
Way earlier. You'd be off by like over 1,000 years. Socks are properly ancient.
1,000 years. Get out.
Seriously. The oldest ones we can definitively call socks. They turned up in burial sites in ancient Egypt. We're talking textiles from around 300 AD.
300 AD.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so like late Roman Empire times, they were already knitting socks.
Well, maybe not knitting exactly like we think of it, but weaving or using techniques like knoll binding. And yeah, perfecting is almost the right word. What's amazing about these finds is they weren't just, rough foot bags. No, they were intricate, finely made, and they had this really specific, kind of famous design feature, the split toe.
Ah, yes. The split toe sock, like a little mitten for your foot just for the big toe.
Exactly like that. And if you think about it, connect the dots. It wasn't just fashion. It was pure function.
Function. How so?
Think about their footwear. Sandals, right. Open-style sandals were common. So these warm, woolen, split-toe socks, they were designed specifically to be worn with those sandals.
No way. So socks with sandals isn't a modern fashion crime. It was the original way.
Pretty much. It was the 1,700-year-old solution. Keep your feet warm, wear your normal shoes. Practical.
That is the ultimate aha moment right there. What we think looks goofy today was actually smart design for their context. Mind blown.
Totally. It makes perfect sense when you see it that way.
Okay, so they were practical. But if they were finely made, intricate. They couldn't have been for everyone, right? Must have been expensive.
Absolutely not for everyone. That complexity, the skill needed, made them exclusive right from the start. In ancient Greece, ancient Rome, the sock quickly became a real symbol of status.
So you could literally look down and tell someone's social standing.
Pretty much, yeah. If you were wealthy, part of the elite, you could afford these soft, processed wool socks. Think about it. That means having the raw materials, the labor, the time to spin it, dye it.
And if you were poor?
You either went barefoot, meaning your feet were constantly cold, cracked, dirty, or maybe you wrapped them in just rough, unwashed rags. Just basic protection.
Wow.
The gap between those two, soft wool versus a dirty rag, that's a huge difference in quality of life and basic comfort. It defines so much.
And that gap, that status thing, it just got bigger as time went on, right? Yeah. Like into the medieval period. It sounds like socks, or maybe stockings by then, became less about just warmth and more about showing off.
Yeah, that's a fascinating shift. It becomes pure luxury, especially in medieval Europe, among knights, nobility. Yeah. Socks evolved. They weren't just wool anymore. They started using imported silk, elaborate silk stockings.
Silk count. Okay, now that's serious money. And complex trade routes just to get the material.
Exactly. Silk was incredibly expensive, exotic, so wearing these bright, perfectly tailored silk stockings, it wasn't about staying warm under your armor or robes. It was a power move.
A non-verbal announcement.
Totally. Look how wealthy I am. Even if they were mostly hidden, you knew they were there. It just shows how even clothing on the humblest parts of the body could shout about social divides.
That's incredible. But okay, while the rich are flashing their silk, you mentioned earlier the real impact was maybe for regular folks.
Yeah.
How did socks change life for, say, a farmer or a traveler?
Right. This is where we pivot a bit from fashion to social and economic history. Just imagine life before any kind of proper foot covering. Every single step is friction, blisters, dirt, cold.
Yeah.
Socks, even basic ones, they introduce this crucial layer. Comfort, yes, but critically, Mobility.
Ah, okay. Protect the feet. You could walk further,
Yeah.
work longer, carry stuff more easily. That seems like a massive upgrade for any society, especially before engines and stuff.
It's fundamental, a huge systemic shift. But maybe the biggest change, the one that literally saved millions of lives, that connects to hygiene, public health.
Okay.
This isn't just comfort, it's fighting infection.
Ah, okay. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because simple textiles start fighting disease. How?
It boils down to moisture. The
Yeah.
key function, even of very early kind of coarse socks, was moisture management. Even basic wool can wick moisture sweat, dampness away from the skin.
Right. Keeps the foot drier.
Exactly. And without that wicking, what happens? Your skin gets waterlogged, macerated, it breaks down. And those little breaks, perfect entry points for bacteria. Infections spread like wildfire.
So just absorbing sweat was like a medical breakthrough.
In a way, yes, a simple but profound one.
Right.
And the clearest, most dramatic example, you see it in the military
Okay.
throughout history, but maybe most famously in World War I, trench warfare. Soldiers suffered horrific foot problems.
You mean trench foot?
Exactly, trench
Yeah.
foot. And we need to really pause on this because it wasn't just like sore feet. It was a non-freezing cold injury. Your feet are wet, cold, constricted in boots for days, weeks, blood vessels clamp down, tissue starts to die. It often led to gangrene, amputation. Hundreds of thousands of cases in World War I alone.
That's horrifying, just from wet feet.
It is. And the solution, or at least the best defense, ridiculously simple.
Let me guess.
Socks. Clean, dry socks. That was it. The single most critical supply, often. Generals realized that getting soldiers to change into dry socks, sometimes multiple times a day, was vital. They needed specific orders, dedicated supply lines, just for socks.
So a clean sock wasn't just comfort, it was literally life-saving military equipment.
Absolutely. It prevented injury, kept soldiers fighting. It's an incredible journey for one garment, isn't it? From an Egyptian's sandal helper to preventing amputations on the Western Front.
Wow. Yeah. That really puts it in perspective. Textile innovation directly impacting, well, war outcomes and health.
Big time.
Okay, so we had wool in Egypt, silk in Europe for the rich. Did this idea pop up everywhere? Did different cultures invent their own versions using local stuff?
Oh, definitely. The basic need protect the feet is universal. So yeah, socks or sock-like things have a truly global history. Materials just varied based on what was around.
Like,
Well, Romans loved their durable wool. In Japan, famously, they used cotton for tabi socks. And guess what? Split toe, just like the Egyptians, but totally independent. Same problem wearing them with their traditional thonged sandals, the geta or zori. So, same solution.
that's fascinating. Convergent evolution for socks.
Yeah, exactly. And then in really cold places, like the Arctic, the Inuit peoples used incredibly effective insulators, animal fur, hides for their boots and liners. Everyone solved the foot problem with local tech.
Fur, wool, cotton, silk.
But okay, no matter the material, if every single pair had to be slowly hand knit or hand sewn, they'd stay pretty expensive, right?
Yeah.
Limited. How did we get from that to, well, my overflowing sock drawer? What made them truly democratic?
That was the game changer. The huge technological leap, the invention of the knitting machine.
Okay. When was that?
It was an Englishman, William Lee, back in the late 1500s, around 1589, actually. Late 1500s. Wow, that early. So that's the moment the sock shifts from being special to being for everyone.
Pretty much. Think about hand knitting. It's slow, takes real skill, mostly done by women, took ages. Lee's machine, his stocking frame, it could churn out socks way, way faster.
How much faster?
Estimates vary, but maybe 10, 12 times faster than by hand, maybe more as it improved. Instantly, you can see the potential, but also the problem.
Problem. Oh, you mean for the hand knitters? Jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huge tension. There's a story that Queen Elizabeth, I was actually worried. She apparently refused Lee a patent at first because she feared it would throw too many of her people out of work. Social disruption.
Wow. So this one invention was like the tiny crack that started the whole industrial revolution in textiles.
You could definitely argue that it was that significant, but, you know, economics tends to win out.
Yeah. Supply and demand. Cheaper socks. People want them.
They did. The tech got better, cheaper, factories started making socks, and suddenly clean, warm feet weren't just for the rich or the soldiers. They became normal, expected, part of daily life for almost everyone.
So the humble sock is maybe one of the first clear examples of industrialization actually improving life for the average Joe.
I think that's fair to say, absolutely. And it just kept going, right, now we're way beyond wool and cotton, nylon, polyester, spandex.
Yeah, which brings us kind of up to today.
Yeah.
The modern sock drawer. Socks are everywhere now. So common, but also so specialized.
That's the key, isn't it? Specialization. We've got socks engineered for running, hiking, skiing.
Right, high-tech moisture wicking compression.
Exactly. Even smart socks now that can track your steps or heart rate. But maybe one of the most important modern applications, medical. Compression socks.
Oh yeah, crucial for circulation problems, preventing blood clots.
Deep vein thrombosis, yeah. So the sock has gone from just a covering to an active medical device. The evolution is still happening.
That's profound, actually. But even with all the tech,
Yeah.
there's still that basic emotional thing, right?
Oh, totally. The cozy factor.
Yeah. Everyone knows that feeling, right? Cold night, pull on a pair of soft, fuzzy socks. It just feels safe, comfortable.
And that deep feeling, that connection, it's probably why, even though people joke about getting socks as gifts.
Yeah, the classic boring gift.
Right. But deep down, it's actually appreciated. Our sources kind of hint at this. Giving socks is seen as this act of genuine care. Like that old saying, warm feet, warm heart. It's practical kindness.
It really is. It's like giving someone a small, dependable piece of protection against the world. And hey, there's even a day for it, right? For the perfect pair.
Yes, gotta celebrate the small wins. National Sock Day, December 4th. Apparently, it's for celebrating finding matching pairs.
I love that.
Yeah.
A holiday for minor laundry triumphs. Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. You've definitely convinced me socks are more than just socks. If we zoom out, look at the whole sweep of history we've covered. What are the top, say, 3 big contributions socks made to civilization?
Okay, boiling it down. First, definitely they provided essential comfort and mobility. Protecting feet allowed people to work more, travel further, basically enabling society to move and grow.
Okay, number 1, mobility and comfort. Got it.
Second, they were a huge social and historical status marker. From Roman wool to medieval silk, they visually defined class, wealth, power for centuries.
Number 2, status symbol. Makes sense.
And third, maybe the most critical, a massive leap in public health and hygiene. Just by absorbing moisture, they prevented countless infections, saved limbs, literally saved lives, especially in military contexts, but also for everyday people.
Okay, mobility, status, health. That's a powerful trio for a piece of fabric. So what's the takeaway for us, listening right now?
Well, I think it means that civilization, progress, it isn't just about the flashy, big inventions. So much of it is built on these quiet, essential comforts. Things that just let us get through the day without pain or sickness.
Things that solve the small problems so we can tackle the big ones.
Exactly, the foundational stuff, like foot protection. It defines the quality of daily life, really.
So I guess the final thought here is maybe the next time you pull on a pair of socks, especially a clean matching pair.
If you can find one.
Right. Just take half a second, appreciate the, 1,700 years of history packed in there. Design, trade, technology, health. It's all wrapped around your ankle. Maybe civilization isn't just pyramids and microchips. Maybe it's also warm feet, small comforts.
A simple nod to something powerful we overlook. Well said.
Give a little thanks to William Lee and his knitting machine next time you do laundry. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.